right here, we've been having amazing strategists, people who are doing excellently well in their industry. And because of that, I am super thrilled to introduce one of my guests. He's in the room. He is Daniel Adeniyi. He is the founder of the Daniel Adeniyi Leadership Factory. Welcome to the
Thank
show.
you very much. Thank you for having me here. Thank you
You've
so much.
you've been such a great leadership expert. I
Thank
say
you.
this because
Thank
I
you.
hear how you moderated that session. So I'm just gonna get into your question.
All right.
Right. So you're into the leadership industry, which is very bespoke. And I would like to know, or I would like you to let us know, what is the most unconventional leadership principle, that you would say you teach, of course, that would move a leader from a place of comfort, or from a place of mediocrity to being a high performer? What is that leadership principle that is unconventional for you?
Thank you for that question. I think I'll give a background context, all right,
Oh, please
to
do.
my answer, which will help, you understand why I'm giving that principle. Um, I've been in the capacity of leadership for more than 15 years, starting from being a assistant national sales manager, leading about 80 people, to running my own business and leading a couple of staff. And I realized in my journey of leadership, there are certain things that I have personally implemented in my own job to achieve optimum results. And that's what's defining the principle I want to share now, which is leadership is all about system design.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen that collectively in my experience. I've seen that, in my consultancy career with business owners and the rest of them. I've seen that in ministry. I've seen that, observing, successful individuals. Leadership is all about system design. As a matter of fact, if you call yourself a leader, you are basically a designer of systems. Because what really gets results done, or what really gets results in an organization, is not so much about the day-to-day activities.
Yes.
It's the system.
Yes.
And I'll give an example of a car. If you step into a car, you don't pray to any God for it to start. You are programmed that when you insert the key or press the button or ignite the button, the car will come on. Now, behind the scene of the vehicle are different components, all right, that connects together. The
Yeah.
engine, the carburetor, the this, and
Yeah.
the moment you ignite it, those systems turn up and begin to function. So, what actually makes the car move is the holistic system in that car. Same with leadership.
Right.
When you are a leader, what really makes your leadership effective is the system around your leadership. So, for instance, if you're a business owner, for you to be called an effective leader or an effective business leader, it means that you have built a business that has a system of effectiveness.
Right.
So you are now a leader leading that system. So
Right.
leadership is not so much about the individual. Leadership is about the system that the individual builds. So for you to be an effective leader, or for you to become an effective leader, the KPI is the
Right.
system you've built. I've studied individuals like Aliko Dangote. I've studied Bishop Oyedepo. They're actually my two favorite mentors or icons from a distance. And I noticed that these men are individuals who understand system building.
Right.
And that's what makes them great leaders. They
Yeah.
focus more on the system. So leadership is about system design.
Right.
Yes.
Beautiful. And that is super great. System design, you can say, is like the framework
Yes.
around
Yes.
effectiveness. And that is
Yes.
so good. That is
Yes.
so good.
Yes.
My second question will be this: how would you say that, so for a leader that is starting out in his early career, and is facing challenges in the workplace, how would you say, for such a leader to thrive and go from just performance to executing excellently? How would you connect the dots for such a leader?
I think the answer to that question is, what is the leader's vision? So you are employed in a job as a C-suite manager,
Yeah.
and you are leading a team of 100 people. All right. Beyond the vision of the organization,
Mm-hmm.
what is your own personal vision?
Right.
because your personal vision will define your own values. Your values are the component that comes together to build your own system. Now,
Right.
when you begin to lead those systems, it automatically trickles down to your own team members, and the result is guaranteed.
Yes.
So it's not so much about you following the vision of the organization alone. You must also find out your own personal vision. Now, this is the catch.
Okay.
When you identify your own vision as
Mm-hmm.
an individual or an
Mm-hmm.
employee,
Mm-hmm.
you now have to pair that vision with your organization's vision.
Right.
When both of them
Right.
meet, effectiveness is easy to be achieved.
Right.
But you see, what happens is that we have a lot of employees that work in companies.
Yes.
Their personal vision is heading towards the east, and
Right.
the company's vision is
It's
heading
going in
towards
another
their direction,
direction.
and you are
Right.
confused. You wake up every morning and it's a monotonous activity. You are
Frustrated.
frustrated. There is no distinct vision. I give you an example. When I started working with my company, back then, the first thing I did was to identify the company's vision. What is the
Right.
company's vision? What is my boss's vision? What do they want to achieve? The moment I had that, I synced it with my own vision. What do I
Right.
want to achieve? What do I want to accomplish? How do I build my vision in the company's vision? How do I achieve my vision in the company's vision? So, for instance, I love coaching, I love
Yes.
training, I love facilitating, thought leadership and human capital development. So I asked myself back then, how do I bring this into my job as a sales manager? So
Right.
I realized that instead of just being a manager who commands, be a manager who coach. So I
Mm.
was learning on the job and at the same time coaching my sales team to achieve results. So I was a
Right.
manager, but I was imputing my own vision in that particular workspace.
Right.
And I think that's where a lot of mid-level managers need to get it, because I run a training for mid-level managers,
Okay.
and I always often share the vision with them. Which starts with your own personal self-construct, and your vision is very important. Find yourself first. When you
Right.
find yourself, you will know how to place yourself in your organization's vision. And once that
Right.
is done, it will be very easy to achieve any goal, because the ownership mindset sets in.
Right.
So if you employ me to be an operations manager in your business, and I can
Yeah.
identify my personal vision in your vision, becoming the operations manager, it becomes easy. Very
Right.
easy, because it's not I'm not being forced. It's not a monotonous job. I'm not doing the work because I'm being paid. I have
Right.
identified my vision in your company, so I'm
Right.
basically fulfilling purpose.
Oh,
And that's the
great.
main thing that brings education. Because,
Yes.
I mean, performance, execution, whatever we call it, is about the human behavior.
Yes.
If you are not motivated, you will not deliver good results. If you
Yes.
are not, you don't have that drive and passion, you will not deliver good results.
Mm.
So that's where we have the friction, especially in Nigeria. Most people who work in companies don't know their own personal vision. They know
Right.
the company's vision, but they don't have
Right.
the personal vision. So there's a huge gap. There's a very huge gap. And that
Right.
gap is what has to be filled before execution can be effected.
Super great. Super great. There must be an alignment
Yeah,
with
of
your
both visions
personal vision
and the
and your
company's vision.
company's
There
vision.
must be an alignment.
That is
Once there's an
superb.
alignment, there's a spark, and that spark delivers
Wow.
result. It comes natural. You wake up 2
Right.
a.m. and you're working for the company without
Hmm.
anybody forcing you.
Right.
Nobody's calling you to say, have you done that project? You are 10
Yes.
steps ahead. You are
Yes.
researching how to be better on your job without anybody paying you. You are writing
Mm.
exams on your own bill to
Mm-hmm.
improve on your own job, your own job performance.
Yes.
And that's once there's an alignment, there's a spark.
Right.
But once there's no alignment, that spark cannot be effective, cannot occur. And once there is no spark, it's just monotonous activity. You are just a laborer. You just do
Right.
it, you are just working because you are paid.
Mm.
And if you're working because you are paid, you can't
It's
you
not
can't you
enough
can't be great.
drive.
You
It's
can't.
not enough
You
drive.
can't.
All right. Thank you so much. One last question
Right.
before you leave. I promise. I would not want to take any more of your
All
time.
right.
Right. So I'm just gonna say, if you let's just say you have a time capsule of some sort,
Okay.
and you're you have the opportunity to go, 20 years or 10 years, back into your early career days.
Okay.
Right. What is that in your career life now? What is that one decision that you think that you would have taken differently, or what is that one step you think you
Wow.
must have done, you know, to bring you in a different light, or encourage yourself to do in a different way?
A very, very, a very tough question. If I'm to go back to the early days of my career, and if
Yes.
there's one thing I could have done or could have done differently, I think that will have to do with uh, getting more experience before getting my job. Because I think I just finished school, finished my NYC, applied for a job. Lucky me, I was employed and I had to learn on the job. But luckily for me, I had a very great boss. All right. My boss was more like a coach. I remember when I got the job, just backstory. I didn't want to work in the bank because I didn't like the bank sitting down behind teller. I wanted something that would move me around.
Yeah.
So when I got this job, it was the job of a PA to the MD. So I felt it was a job that is just 7 to like 5 p.m. You are done, you go
Mm.
home, you relax, and that's it. I found myself doing a banking job in a job that has to do with a PA to the MD. And by the fourth month, I say I'm resigning. I want to leave. But there's something that happened. I told myself, even though I want to resign, I
Mm.
will leave a mark.
Mm.
I'm not going to resign and leave a void. I'll resign and I'll leave a mark. I'll make my boss miss me.
Right.
So I
Right.
switched my behavior and my perception to delivering results.
Yes.
And that single decision kept me there for the next 6 years. I grew from the PA to the assistant national sales manager in 6 years. So if
Wow.
I was meant to do something different, I would probably have done maybe an internship,
Yeah.
maybe like a 6 month, 1 year, just to get a grasp of how companies operate, and afterwards transition into a full time job.
That is super,
Thank you.
super great. Such insightful
Thank you. Thank you.
knowledge there. Thank you so much for sharing with us. And there you have it from Daniel Adeniyi, who leads the Daniel Adeniyi Leadership Factory. And he has shared with us principles, mindsets, and templates that can move you from being just a doer to being a high performing achiever. Thank you so much. Thank you so
Thank you
much,
for having me
sir.
here. Thank you
Yes,
so much.
yes.
Thank you so
All
much.
right.